Welcome back, my gardening friends. Well, it's getting warm. We're due quite a hot spell for quite a few weeks, and I thought I'd just share this video of my thoughts. Now please, I only learn these off other people and my experiences. If you've got any comments, ideas, and what you do, then leave them in the comments, and don't forget the like and dislike button. Please do that before you leave today. Yeah, leave comments. Like I say, this hot weather, it is difficult. I was here last night at 9 o'clock, just as the sun was going down, and taking a bit of a harvest, but making sure everything was well watered, because I knew how warm it was going to be today. And everything's growing really well. We've got quite a few of the broad beans coming. I'm going to my son's later to take the granddaughter back. So these carrots had all flopped over, so I'll give them a good water. The only issue with watering carrots when it's warm is they take the water up so quickly that they split. Now a lot of people are using the wicks to water from the bottom, which is what we should be doing. Now excuse the football match on at the local football ground, but they're using the wicks to water from the bottom. When we plant stuff, we should just water to get them going, and then we should let the roots go down and find their own water. But I'm always, I just love to keep watering, because I think they need it. But carrots look all right. You can see they're a little bit dry, and not as big as those that I pulled the other day. But we'll let them continue growing. So that'll be first part of the harvest. But I do intend, as you can see, these have dropped down now a good palm's length, and I've got small hands. He says. But I'm going to empty these out, and I'm going to put wicks into these barrels. Now these barrels are all connected up using the siphoning system. Put you in the shadow, you might be able to see it. There we go. And that coil there stops the pipe kinking, so the water comes in via there, fills all these barrels up, and I'll use that barrel there to water these and the peas, the pallet collar beds. So see, I pulled this carrot out the other day and forgot it, and it's gone soft. But it's very difficult. This tray, you see, we water from the bottom, and sometimes it's probably not quite enough. Beans are very good at finding their own water source. Now if you're going on holiday, or you know you're going on holiday, and you've got a nice cool spell, stop watering. Let the roots go downhill before we get the next heat wave, because at the moment it's absolutely scorching. I've not done nothing on the allotment for the last couple of days other than harvest, and I think this time of the year we harvest non-stop anyway. But I'm here, but when I get busy at work, I don't always want to come up at 8-9 o'clock after I finish work to come and water. And then because we water from the top, the roots come to the top. What happens then? The sunshine scorches the ground, the roots dry out, they die, and so do the plants. But at the moment the show beans are looking really good, as is the teddy bear sunflower and the rest of the beans, because they've had a water. The carrots, they don't get a water. We need those tap roots to go down to find the nutrients that we've popped in below, and hopefully they're growing and germinating really well in here. So once the lettuce is established, we stop watering. Then they've got all this to go and find the water the cells, but you start watering at the top, and this is where you get the leaf scorch, if you leave any water on the leaves, and eventually they'll start to blow. I took that one the other day, didn't have time to tidy my mess up, but that one's just started to puff out. Nothing wrong with it, but these lettuces have done really well. They're like a red iceberg. These haven't flopped over today because I give them an absolutely gorgeous watering, and we've got a couple of different types here. We've got the Cincilli Giant and the Albina White. I'm going to stand this side. I'll probably end up with a shadow, but these all come pretty well good at the same time. So basically all I'm doing is taking them as we go, and there's the odd one that hasn't taken, but such a good plentiful supply here. Well, those will do. So they're the white ones. I think I'll stand the other side. Swap hands, I'm no good left-handed. But basically I'm just going to take a few out, and they're quite a decent radish, very similar to the Sparkler 3. So we'll get those tidied up and in the shade before they get wilted. I'll try and put them in a bag straight away once I've cleaned them, and then they go in a sealed container in the fridge, because the radishes we buy from the shops have been treated and treated and treated so that they stay fresher for longer. But the best way to do it is wash them and put them in a sealed container, and they do last quite a while. Everything in the polytunnel, other than the strawberries, which are a nightmare to keep watered, I just have to pour water on them just to keep them alive for now. But I water through the pipes to get the water down to the roots right down below, and then I feed from the top, and that goes for all these, including the cucumbers. Cucumbers, oh my word. First cucumber, 2022. That's the size I picked them. Half of that goes in my lunchbox. Excuse me. That must be my favourite thing to do an excuse me moment on, is a homegrown cucumber. Got a few of the mini bell tomatoes, but then it's not a very big plant, but it's producing, as is the sun gold. There's one left there. Unfortunately there's none made at home at the moment. I've told Mrs. K they're not ready. I've got another mega bloom on the big Zac. That one isn't as big, so that one will come off. And the delicious, this one's growing nicely. Higher up we've got another big tomato. I shall study and look at that to see whether that is going to be as good as that one. If it's better than that one, I'll cut that one off, because we want one big potato for the show. All the giant tomato growers are dreading this warm weather, because it will end up spoiling them. So all I can do is my very best to try and keep them all going. And with the cloth pots, they're all in the trays. Now these are the trays and the cloth pots and the compost. It all comes from the cannabis growers who unscrupulously dump their materials after they've finished what they want with it. Another thing to watch out for is when you wash your carrots during a dry spell is they'll also absorb the water when you wash them, and I have had my sweet candles split quite readily. Not a problem for eating, but for showing is a different kettle of fish altogether. It's probably best just to brush them off, yeah, I'll give them a clean. Another little thing I do leave a little bit of greenery on my vegetables, especially the root ones, just to help. And you'll always see at farmers markets they leave all the leafy growth on to help them retain their moisture and keep them fresh for longer. I had about half a dozen beans off Marie Curie, the crimson broad beans. They're lovely flowers, and absolutely no signs of any black fly whatsoever. And the pods, they're only small pods, don't get me wrong, you're not going to get a massive harvest, but it's certainly better than nothing at all. And I wish I'd put the pipes in here now, but all I'm doing is just pouring loads of water in late at night when the sun's gone down. So I'll be able to take my son and the family a nice lettuce head there, some red Russian garlic, the red radishes, the white ones, those carrots, the broad beans, and a few of the sugar snap type, and hopefully they will enjoy. And we'll be taking the granddaughter back shortly. It is Saturday before the Sunday you see this. I ain't got a clue, lost track of time. So everything's gone into the bag to keep it fresher. I'd normally take it straight home and prepare everything within 15 minutes, but it could be another 3 or 4 hours before we make that little journey. I'm not short of water. There's a galvanised tank there, we've got a galvanised tank here, IBC there, and as we move over to the wash station, I've got 4 barrels there. The washdown station's fed by that one. There's another IBC next to it. There's another galvanised tank there, and then we've got all the barrels all around the polytunnel. There's 2 barrels here full, another 2 barrels here full, all those barrels are full. I normally take the water from here, and as you can see, realistically we've not taken much at all. And as we just move across, as you can see, these potatoes are getting fried. There's all the barrels there that are all interconnected, saving me time. And of course we've got this roof space here. There's the massive roof space over there feeding those IBCs. I've got some damage, so it's going to be worth me replacing those. And we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 barrels here, which will use the wick system there, and definitely going that way to help me in the future. Well, that was plot 3. Let's go and have a look at plot 1. I've got 4 spare barrels here, not connected at all at the moment. All they're doing is collecting rainwater that falls on top, and I believe there's a wee drop in the bottom. Every little drop counts. I collect water on top of the compost fines bin, what used to be the manure bin, but of course storm damage. We've only got 1 operating at the moment, and we've got 3 barrels here. When I change things around, we'll have more barrels here when I move the bench over, but this one is going down slowly because I used it for my giant potatoes over there in those barrels. Someone asked me What carrot variety? Well, it's one of the giant carrots, and it's the red intermediate, but it's a world record variety, and they are looking lush. Some are looking yellow, but the biggest one is looking lush, and we don't want rain on that. I'm hoping that the roots have gone right down into those manure layers. I did it differently, top secret, don't tell anybody, but we did 2 manure layers, and we left it open to the elements over the winter, so hopefully there's plenty of moisture in there for the carrots to continue growing. I collect water off the greenhouse into that barrel. This barrel was full, but I've been using it, and once I remove the asparagus, the volunteer, I can have barrels up the side of the greenhouse. That will also be connected to my compost bin collection. That drops down into the barrel. This has got a slope on it because we collect the juices, which are overflowing. So all the water goes down into there. Again, I'll be able to interconnect everything, try and get them all level and interconnect them all the way across there. Then I can easily top up the gravity wick guttering system that feeds this greenhouse. And then this roof space here fills the galvanised tanks under here. So that's one there and one here, and I've got the 2 pipes going into the tanks to siphon it out there, so it's easily accessible there, and that's worked really well. And if you want to see how I put all these in and build all the hyla columns, I can't say the word, but if you look at my playlists on hashtag starting a new allotment, you'll see how I actually built this allotment, plot 1, from scratch, thinking about collecting water all the time and providing habitats for all the wildlife. The wildlife area, I've got to revamp it, but I'm going to do that around about September time. You're not allowed to cut or flail hedges in the summer. Bird nesting, it's against the law. So at September we'll be revamping this, rebuilding it, tidying it up, use those tiles, use all the extra bits and bobs that we found, and make a nice place for the wildlife this coming winter. Hopefully I can leave it then for a couple of years to establish itself. Sunflower high. I don't think they're going to get much higher, but never mind. What a lovely place. I think I'd like to be an insect. Abundance of pears. Plum tree's had a haircut. There's a few plums on there, but it's going to get a haircut a little bit lower at the end of the season. Lovely pears on that tree. And these apples look absolutely gorgeous. Not sure whether you're getting that on the screen or not. But yes, please leave a comment on how you deal with the weather. People going on holiday, stop watering 3 weeks before if it's a cooler period, and anything else that you want to add. The comments are the most useful piece of any video, and where I learn all that I do and that I share. Happy gardening to you all. Till next time, my friends. Ta-ra for now.